Hey everybody, it's Justin here, and in today's video I'm bringing you the 5th and final installment of my AT gear video series. So I know that I've gone over quite a bit of gear so far, and it can be pretty overwhelming, which is why I broke it up into sections. And today I'm just going to wrap things up by going over my electronics and also just some miscellaneous gear that I haven't been able to go over in previous videos. So let's just get started. So as far as electronics go, I'm not really carrying a lot because, as I've said time and time again, I like to keep my setup as simple and minimal as possible. But probably the most obvious piece of gear that I will be carrying is my cell phone. Now, this is actually my old phone. Up until now, I was using the iPhone 8 Plus, but I recently decided to upgrade to the 13 Pro Max just because I wanted to get the best quality of footage that I could. So I'm really excited to now be filming with my new phone, and I will be using it for navigations, checking for shelters, weather, when my next town stop is going to be. And yeah, over the years, technology has really taken over the thru hiking game, and a phone has become one of the most crucial pieces of gear that you can carry. So I will be carrying mine, and obviously if I'm going to be vlogging my trip, I'm going to need some sort of a camera. So I think my phone is perfect, and since I'll be carrying a phone anyway and likely using it every day, I don't need an extra camera to carry. So yeah. So even though I'll have my phone with me, I feel it's also important for me to carry an extra satellite tracking device just in case an emergency situation comes up where I don't have cell reception. So for that, I have the Garmin inReach Mini, which I recently picked up. Now, I will say this is a pretty expensive investment. I think it retails for about $350 right now, but it is a worthwhile investment if you ask me, and this device will save your life at a time where you really need it. So basically, this is a satellite tracking device which I can use to communicate with loved ones. I can send my location from wherever I am anytime, even if I don't have cell reception. And this also has an SOS button to contact someone if an emergency comes up where I need to be like rescued or something like that. So I will have this with me at all times, and I know my mom especially is glad that I have this now. So yeah, definitely make sure that you have at least one other device that you can use in case of emergency. All right, so next up we have my headlamp, and as you can see, I am wearing it. So this is the Nitecore New 25 360 lumen headlamp. It's ultra light, and as you can see, I replaced the original band strap with the shock cord strap. It makes it so much more comfortable to wear around my head, and it also shaves a few ounces off, which doesn't hurt even though I'm not a stickler for ounces and being ultra light. So basically, I love this headlamp. You get several different brightness options, and it also has red lights, so you aren't waking up other hikers who may be camping close to you. Yeah, I can't get enough of this headlamp, and it's rechargeable, so I don't have to worry about carrying batteries. And yeah, this is what I'll be using at night. So I've gotten several questions from friends and family about how I plan to keep my electronics charged. And the answer is Anker. So when I'm on trail, I will be using this Anker 20,000 milliamp portable battery pack. I can pretty much use this to charge all of my devices. It gives my phone a good 3 to 4 full charges, and it also charges pretty quickly. So while I'm on trail, when I get to camp at night, I can easily plug my phone up to this and it'll charge it pretty quickly. And it also has 2 ports, so there's a USB-C and a lightning port. And when I get to town, I have the Anker, I think it's the 32 watt wall plug. So this also has the same 2 ports, one for USB-C and one for a lightning cable. So I can easily charge all my devices when I get to town, and I can also charge my battery pack using the wall plug. So keeping my things charged should be pretty easy since I'll be stopping in town so frequently, and yeah, I'm not too worried about that. So that's that. Obviously, I will be carrying all of my charging cables for all my devices, And pretty much I keep all of my electronics in a Ziploc bag just to keep water and moisture away from them. That's been pretty effective for me, so yeah. So I had a friend of mine ask me, am I planning to listen to music or any podcasts or anything while I'm out on trail? The answer to that is, I don't know. Typically when I go out on hikes or backpacking trips, I don't really listen to anything just because I'm entertained enough by my surroundings. However, if I'm going to be hiking for over 2,000 miles, I could possibly need some extra stimulation. So I do have just a cheap pair of headphones, and I can't remember what brand these are or where I picked them up from, probably a Best Buy or Walmart or something. And I have this dongle or whatever this thing is called just to connect it to my phone. So if I feel like listening to music or a podcast, I now have that option. Okay, so since I am planning to vlog my hike, I am going to need some sort of a tripod or something to hold up my phone and prop it up to get footage. So I have the Pedco UltraPod, which is this ultralight mini tripod. I can stand it up freely like this to get some footage of me on the trail. And I can also use this Velcro strap to strap it to a tree branch, or I typically like to strap it to the top of my trekking pole, and I'll just hold my phone out so I can get that really wide angle shot. But yeah, this is really easy to use. This Velcro strap is actually really sturdy, and I've propped my phone up on tree branches. Obviously it sits on the top of my trekking pole super easily, and yeah, this really comes in handy, so I am really excited to continue using this. All right, so that pretty much does it for my electronics, and it is getting a little chilly out here, so I'm going to try to hurry up and move through these last few items. So first off, I have my trekking poles, and I know that I've sort of mentioned these in previous gear videos, but I haven't exactly gone into detail about them. So these are the CNOC carbon trekking poles, and they have these cork handles, which are nice and comfortable. My old trekking poles that I used to use had these rubber handles, which, you know, got a little uncomfortable after a while, and especially when my hands would start to sweat, and at the end of a long day, I just didn't want to hold them anymore. But these cork handles really absorb sweat and moisture really well off of my hands, so they're comfortable to use throughout the day. I also use these to set up my Zpacks duplex tent, as I mentioned in my very first gear video talking about my big three. And as I just mentioned, I can strap my phone to the top of my trekking pole using my Pedco tripod, and I can just hold it out like this and get some nice footage while I'm on the move. So these will really come in handy for a lot of different reasons, and I'm very happy to have these. Next up, I want to go over some dry bags, and I have two specifically. So the first one is the Zpacks Medium Plus dry bag. So I basically use this to store my down quilts and also my clothes. So pretty much what I do is I will stuff my clothes down into the foot box of my quilt, and then I will stuff my quilt into this dry bag, and then I can seal it up and roll it and then just stuff it down in the bottom of my pack, and that way I can ensure that those items stay dry, because I need that stuff to stay dry, especially when I get to camp at the end of the day. I don't want to be changing into wet clothes and climbing into a wet quilt or sleeping bag. My second dry bag is actually my Ditty Bag. So this is another Hilltop Packs custom bag. If you know me, you know that I have a little obsession with butterflies, so I decided to customize my Ditty Bag with images of butterflies, which I love. So pretty much a Ditty Bag is used to just carry your smaller personal items that you might not need too much throughout the day, but you might have to pull an item or two out in the morning or in the evenings. So pretty much in my Ditty Bag, I keep my electronics, I keep my toiletries, and I keep my first aid and repair stuff in here. And this helps keep all of that dry as well. So those are my dry bags. So as a hiker, backpacker, I found that it's important for me to be able to have things like my phone and snacks more easily accessible. So I picked up a couple pieces of gear that should help with that. So the first thing I have is this Hyperlite mountain gear shoulder strap pouch. So basically I can attach this to the shoulder strap of my backpack and I can put my phone in it and also probably a couple of snacks, and it'll be easy just to reach in, pull my phone out, record some footage, and then put my phone back in without having to stop. And it's also water resistant, so I can keep my phone nice and dry because we do not want water damage. So I also have this fanny pack, which I got from FSP Outdoors, which is a Brooklyn-based brand. They make a lot of cool gear, and I reached out to them a few months ago and they gifted me this fanny pack, so I'm really excited to use this. This is pretty much going to be my snack bag. So I am someone who likes to snack a lot. I snack all day long, and so all my snacks for the day will probably be in this fanny pack. It'll be so much easier to just reach in here, pull out a snack while I'm still hiking, rather than having to stop, take my backpack off, and dig down into my food bag. So yeah, this is definitely going to come in handy for that. Okay, so next up I have this little wallet from Granite gear, which I will pretty much use to store my credit cards and just a little bit of cash that I'll probably have on me at all times. So again, this is water resistant, so I can be sure to keep those things dry, and it'll be nice and handy and just easy to keep on me at all times. So this will probably be stored in my fanny pack as well. So just a few more items that I'll keep tucked away in my fanny pack include bug spray, sunscreen, and also some hand sanitizer. Since I'll likely be applying these items frequently throughout the day, I think they should be kept someplace where I can easily get to them, so these will be in my fanny pack as well. All right, so we're getting down to the last few items. The next thing that I want to talk about is this microfiber towel that I just got from REI. So I pretty much use this in the mornings when I have condensation in my tent. Since my tent is a single wall tent, condensation is something that I have to deal with pretty much every day. So I use this towel just to wipe off the inside of my tent in the mornings, and it does a pretty good job. It dries pretty quickly as well. So I will probably just keep this on me throughout my trip. So in my first gear video talking about my big three, I mentioned the stakes that I'll be carrying, but I forgot to mention the stake sack that I will be storing them in. So this is a Dyneema stake sack made by Allmansright, which I have to say is becoming one of my favorite brands, and I promise you will be seeing more of them. But yeah, I'll be storing my stakes in this sack, and it'll help prevent them from poking holes in any of my other gear items. And yeah, it'll just be nice to keep them out of the way since they'll pretty much be covered in dirt anyway. So the last couple of gear items that I have are for winter weather specifically. So the first of which is actually my most recent pickup. I decided to purchase these outdoor research down mittens. So I know I talked about my glove system in my clothing video, and I was thinking about it, and with the cold temperatures that we've been getting recently, I felt like maybe I could use just one more layer. So these down gloves are going to be it. They are lightweight, they pack down really small, and they are super warm. So I was able to justify bringing these on the trip as well. And the last thing that I have, which I'm sort of still on the fence about, are these Kahtoola Microspikes. So I've actually had these for a few years now, and I usually use them when I go hiking during the winter. It's been snowy and icy, and I feel like I would rather have these and not need them than to need them and not have them. So I think that at least for the first couple of months when we're still seeing that winter weather, I will have Microspikes on me. And honestly, it's not that much extra weight, so I feel good about carrying these. Yeah, I've heard stories about people who take really bad falls on patches of ice and it ends up ending their hike, and I don't want that to happen to me. So yeah, I think I am going to have these with me just in case. All right, so that is going to wrap up my AT gear video series. I hope that you found it helpful in some way. Now I know that there were a few things that I still haven't finalized yet. So what I'll do is maybe a few days before my flight to Georgia, I will make one last gear video, just sort of covering my finalized gear list. And I'll also put together a list that you all can see, and I will make sure to distribute that as well. But for now, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and we are 3 weeks away from starting this journey. So let's do it. All right, y'all. Peace.